And we're on. Greetings. It is another Monday morning with the Lewises. So, we were going to talk about 13 Reasons specifically because it seems to be the topic of discussion. But I actually just watched Hot Damn I Rock. If you don't know who that is, he's a comedian on YouTube. He's pretty funny. Great guy. Unfortunately, he's had a lot of tragedy in the last few years, and he just put up a video talking about a really close friend of his that, obviously it tore him up that he's died, and, our condolences, and we're very sorry for his loss because I know that he lost I think he lost a family member and he lost his best friend, all in the same year, and that's really tough to deal with. And we just saw his video that he put up just a couple hours ago, and it shows how deeply emotional this was for him and how sad this was for him. And it is very sad. So we're gonna basically talk about suicide and the effects it has on people and our opinion on it. So the show 13 Reasons, a lot of people know what it's about. I kind of have a vague idea of what it's about. From what I grasp of what I've heard about the series, it's basically about, it's a book and a series, that it's about a young girl who is sexually assaulted and can't really handle it, and so she ends up killing herself. But before she does, she leaves behind some footage or recordings to the people in her school, and how she explains how it affects and stuff. Now, I understand that the series is trying to portray a certain feeling. I get all that, but I wish that the victim would have been more triumphant. There's far too many young girls out here that these types of things happens to in an even more violent and worse way, and are survivors. And I think that the story should have taken a different turn, because a lot of people feel like it's glorified suicide, and I agree. I think that the series really should divert from the book. I mean, I wish it would have diverted from the book, but the book is the book. You don't want to change it. But I wish that the victim was not just completely defeated. I think that she should have fought. I feel as though the book should have went in the direction of it not necessarily being a happier turnout, but a surviving turnout. It did not have to end in suicide. I feel as though people who are on the edge of suicide should not watch this. I do not approve of it. I wish that if I were to write the book, it would end in a way where she goes to court. Obviously, Bryce does not get the punishment that he deserves, and that she ends up almost killing herself, but ends up finding, a survivor group, a group of women who have survived sexual assault and finding strength within each other. So I think that type of ending would have been much, much better. What the face?
I mean, true, granted, but then the reality is most people end up committing suicide, and I guess in this story it tends to show the after effects of the people that's in that person's life and how big the impact someone taking their life can take. And I guess that's the purpose of this movie.
It's a series, yeah.
Well, I guess it's just paints that picture for anybody
who's contemplating it, maybe. I mean, I didn't see it in that perspective, I guess. So what you're saying is that the series is trying to say, hey, if you commit suicide, this is how it affects the people around you, basically.
It's not just about you.
There's a thought in that. And as far as referring to the Hot Damn I Rock video, I felt for Kane. I felt for him because, I don't know a specific situation as to how he died. He only mentions that it's an overdose. Now, I don't know if it was like a self-induced overdose or he just had a problem. But this is, again, one of those things where someone did not think of the effects of how it affects other people. And, this is a YouTuber who, he'll go on a hiatus, but not this long. And, poor Ike, I don't know what it was that pushed him, but I would hope it wasn't suicide. I would pray that it wasn't suicide that he contemplated and ended up doing, because he had a friend, he had somebody, just like in the series. So I guess our thoughts on suicide at this point is, there's someone out there. Like, let's be very clear, life is hard. Like,
just need a support system.
Well, everybody needs a support system, but life is fucking hard. It is not easy by any means. And you can't let it defeat you. Once you give, life the strength to crush you, then yeah, suicide seems like an easy way out, but it's not. It's not the answer. It will never be the answer. So,
sometimes it's not even by their choice. Sometimes it can be in a chemical imbalance. They have like people with schizophrenia or any type of other illness.
Well, mental disease, I would think, is different from actually saying I'm gonna kill myself and just
yes.
Right. That I'm talking about people who literally are like, yeah, I'm gonna kill myself and go ahead and like proceed forward. So our final thoughts are, don't do it. Life is hard, but just, hold on to the next day. Hold on to that friend that always wants to be there for you, even if they're not your favorite friend. Because I'll tell you, there's some people out there that I wouldn't say is like, oh, my closest friend or my best friend, but I know I have people out there that would never want to see me do harm to myself. So, you can't, there are certain moments in life you can be selfish, but when it comes to taking your life and taking yourself away from people that care about you, that's something that you should definitely revisit. And never, ever, ever think that, you can't recuperate, because you can. So the Lewises say, live. And, live fully.
Live and let live.
Live and let live. And hey, life is hard. Life is fucking hard. But press on. There's always another day ahead.
There's always a fighting chance.
Always a fighting chance.